Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. The news never stops and neither does Wrestlelamia. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including plenty of news on AEW's Fight Forever video game, including whether the console game is mired in controversy, is NXT event being held as a stadium show, Raw Censor's recent failure, Freddie Prinze Jr. starting wrestling promotion, WWE superstar talks joining the Bloodline, and more. AEW Fight Forever video game mired in controversy? Disturbing rumors are circulating concerning AEW's upcoming console game Fight Forever, as Sports Gamers Online's Michael Straw is reporting dissension between Kenny Omega and the game's developer Yuke's. Sources have indicated that the relationship with Yuke's and AEW, specifically Kenny Omega, isn't in the best place at the moment. According to those close to the game's development, Omega has found himself frustrated and hating working with Yuke's. One person even claimed that some of it has come across at times like Yuke was trying to take advantage of an inexperienced Omega in this position. AEW's console game has been in development for 2 years, and while that isn't a long time for a new game, apparently the game has had development issues that led to it going over budget. Sports Gamers Online also reports that there have been numerous arguments about the game's direction and development, leading to a number of features of the game either being less than originally planned or cut altogether. Another problem is that the roster will only contain roughly 50 wrestlers when it's released, and there are concerns about whether more wrestlers can be added via DLC. While there is talk that the relationship between AEW and Yuke's is frayed, Straw reports, it can be repaired but it comes down to desire, one said on the relationship between the two. If either side doesn't want to continue, then AEW will look for a new partner. Rumor has it that Yuke's wants to work out a long-term deal with AEW, but if the wrestling promotion, which is said to have invested considerable cash into the game, is disappointed with the final product, it's hard to imagine them sticking with the company. That too could be a problem, as Straw discussed what could happen if Yuke's claims ownership of the game's engine. Is Owen Hart in AEW's new video game? While AEW's video game is reportedly dealing with controversy behind the scenes, there is some good news for Owen Hart fans, as Bodyslam.net's Cassidy Haynes is exclusively reporting on Owen Hart's inclusion in AEW's upcoming console game. While speaking to sources about the upcoming AEW Fight Forever video game, I was told of multiple wrestlers that Yuke's has recorded motion captures for. One of the names that was confirmed to me that will be featured as a playable character in the game is Owen Hart. I was able to confirm that CM Punk will be in the game. As fans prepare for the tentative September release of the wrestling video game AEW Fight Forever, AEW Games released footage from the game on Twitch on 4th May. VentureBeat.com reported on AEW Games' Twitch stream. As part of the stream, Yuke's and AEW revealed trailers for wrestlers Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. They're also bringing referee Aubrey into the action. To get the fan-favorite Aubrey into the action, Yuke's developed an AI referee engine. This will enable the ref to interact with the wrestlers in a way that looks realistic. During the stream, Evil Uno announced that the game will also be available for PC. No official release date has been announced. Fightful Select reports that the upcoming game will have roughly 50 wrestlers in it, including Sting, Bryan Danielson, Ruby Soho, and Adam Cole. NXT Stadium show being planned? Is the WWE planning an NXT 2.0 stadium show? With WWE holding more premium events at stadiums rather than smaller venues, fans may see another NXT Stand and Deliver event later this year at a stadium. WrestleVotes is reporting, WWE has discussed adding another Stand and Deliver event for one of the 3 big stadium shows happening this summer. I've heard the preference is UK for Clash at the Castle, but Nashville or SummerSlam seems more likely. All to be determined still. NXT 2.0 continues to be a priority for WWE as Vince McMahon's retooled version of the former Black and Yellow brand works to create main roster talent. Will the WWE hold more Stand and Deliver events at their stadium shows in order to promote NXT? If so, do you think this will raise fans' awareness and/or interest in the WWE's developmental territory? WWE Hall of Famer claims they'll never retire. Is Booker T ever going to retire from wrestling? The two-time WWE Hall of Famer recently spoke with Houston reporter Ken Hoffman about Booker's Hall of Fame podcast expanding to 4 nights, including whether the 2006 King of the Ring tournament winner plans on stepping away. I'll never be done wrestling. I'll be doing this until I can't move my legs anymore. Wrestlers never retire. If I get a chance to bounce around the ring like a kid one more time, I'll take that opportunity every time. I won't be retired from the squared circle until I'm 6 feet under. Booker also discussed how much longer he's under contract to the WWE. My relationship with the company has never been better. My contract with them isn't up for another several years. I'm still around doing the kickoff shows for all the premium events on Peacock. I sometimes host Raw Talk and Talking Smack, and WWE has me involved in several other projects. Booker remains extremely busy as he works in the WWE, hosts his own podcast show, and runs the Reality of Wrestling School. Do you think Booker will return to a WWE ring? And if so, who should he wrestle? WWE Censors RAW. Looks like the WWE censors slipped up on the second May edition of Raw as the announcers referred to the handicap match between Mustafa Ali and the team of United States Champion Theory and The Miz as a non-title championship match. Dave Meltzer commented on this during a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, noting, "Well, they can't say non-title, that's a banned term." As fans know, the persnickety mind of Vince McMahon is constantly figuring out new ways to control how WWE is presented, with the word non-title not conforming to his image of WWE. WWE superstar can't believe she's not a member of the Bloodline. Could the Bloodline be getting a new member? That's the wish of SmackDown superstar Naomi, who recently spoke with Inside the Ropes about her unofficial affiliation with Roman Reigns and the Usos, as well as her goal of joining the group. I do get the Paul Heyman wisdom, and it's a little weird that I'm not in the Bloodline because I'm always there with them. I'm always there, I'm always around, I'm always, annoying them. So maybe later down the road, or maybe there's somewhere for me to come in with the boys, with John and Josh, Jimmy and Jey Uso, but who knows? But definitely something I would look forward to. I would want it to be the right time, and done properly. Naomi is keeping busy right now as one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions alongside Sasha Banks. However, one never knows what the future holds, and according to Tribal Council Paul Heyman, Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu, may already be a member of the group. In 2021, Heyman told Sportskeeda, "How do you know she's not already at the table? Because it's not on television? Does everything happen on television? We're on television 2 hours a week, and tomorrow, by the way, 2.5 hours on FS1. That leaves a lot of time for the rest of the week when there are machinations and maneuvers and negotiations and strategies and things happening that you don't see on television." The Bloodline continues to dominate the WWE with rumors that the Usos may become undisputed tag team champions alongside the undisputed world champion Roman Reigns. While there have been rumors of Naomi joining her husband Jimmy in the faction, nothing has ever come about. Do you think Naomi should join the Bloodline? Freddie Prinze Jr. announced new wrestling promotion. Is former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. about to get into the wrestling business? Prinze discussed his latest plans during an episode of his Wrestling with Freddie show, telling listeners, "I plan on having this thing up and running in 18 months, that's my plan. There's a way for me to get it done sooner, but it requires me going to Australia for 3 months and leaving my family. I'm not a big fan of doing that regardless of how kind and respectful the studio is, unless I was in a position where I had to. I love being a dad, it's the reason I walked away from the business in the first place." Although Prince's loyalty to his family is commendable, he'd better be prepared for a busy schedule when he starts his wrestling promotion. While the wrestling enterprise sounds like it's going to take time, Prinze talked about some elements he plans on incorporating. "I think I want to start it as a 2-hour show. I want my storylines based in reality. I want to give the women and the men equal time on the roster." Prinze added that he wants every wrestler to be in the Screen Actors Guild union, which means they would be entitled to all the insurance, medical benefits, and retirement plans that entails. What do you think about Prinze's plans? Liv Morgan offers to help fan. Last but not least, Liv Morgan is stepping in to help a fan who reportedly had their pro-Liv sign taken away by WWE security at the 2nd May Raw in Greensboro. Twitter user Steven Davidson tweeted a picture of his sign, which reads "Liv sold this seat," along with the message, "So WWE just took away my Liv Morgan sign after I spent $600 on this front row seat, and wouldn't tell me why. It took a long time to make, and I wanted to support you, Liv. I'm sorry." Morgan, who worked in a 6-person tag match during Raw's main event, replied to the fan, "Thank you so much, I love you and appreciate it. Reach out to me next time we're in town, tickets on me." What do you think of Liv's gesture? Well guys, there you have it, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.